My name is Mike Nims, and I'm a plumbing foreman for Crawford Mechanical.
The start of the day today, I just bebop around, just checking, making sure that they're not damaging my work, and that we're on top of that, and then making sure that somebody's not doing something that's going to cover the work that we have to do. I like to think you're ahead of that all the time, but if something happens, like, you kind of keep your pulse on the job. What's going on every place, every time, and then just keep moving your guys forward. So it's whatever they need, whatever support they need. They need a hand. I'm there. It's when the really good days kick in when I get to put my tools on and help them. Morale is ridiculous. As we have it here, we throw up the barbecue grill and we'll barbecue stuff up, and all the other trades see it. The guys go out there, and then the guys give them a hard time. Well, that boosts that morale. If you get these guys who are like, well, what's it take to work for Crawford? It cost you an hour a month, but I get that back tenfold easily. So it's the morale boost is huge. My number one hobby is military truck collecting and off-roading. It's just driving places remote and seeing stuff, just going out, just general rough exploring. But we'd go to Texas, and Oklahoma, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah. We go to Colorado every year for 9 days. This year is going to be Telluride. We'll be up there again end of July. I keep reflecting back on it. I took off with my Pinzgar, and I just toured Arizona. I was 43 days out. It was great. Epic. Do that again in a heartbeat. I grew up. Dad's a plumber. 4 generations in our family. So I just grew up with him. Every time he had a break from school or summer or whatever, he went, helped him out. It's kind of the gig. Learned to pipe because he'd put the walls together with copper. He'd put them together uncleaned and unfluxed, and I'd take them apart and I'd put them back together. You learn to pipe that way, and then you learn to solder because he'd make you solder it afterwards. So, you get a lot of practice, and then you also learn to run the stuff. I had other opportunities, but I was used to working out in the field, so it's kind of what I pursued. To get started in the field, get your foot in the door somewhere. Start in as an apprentice, and then pick up whatever education you get pertaining to it. Crawford's good. They've got classes. I know they put any kind of an education thing you can get into anytime there's an opportunity. There's such a mystique about being in construction that, I've seen it flip. The jokes about plumbers, making more than doctors is true. I preach to my guys all the time. Do you want to be is this a job or is it a profession? If it's a profession, then learn it, take it on. You need to learn your codes. You need to learn, don't just be an 8-hour job. You want to learn, let's do this. One of my dad's old friends had told me, he says, doing plumbing, you're not going to get rich, but you're never going to go hungry. One of the things you also learn is, be the kind of employee that the company can't afford to lose. And that'll make sure you've always got a job. And you combine all that together and you'll be a good employee, especially if you learn it, take to heart and learn the trade. That's the most challenging part of the job, the starting. You're starting the project. Everything's, it's either right from the start or you're way wrong. I'm good at layout. We put this in without any reference points other than the survey marks. I said, there's no way I can lay this out, but it's going to be days on end just getting one area laid out. And I've got 6 areas, and they get more complicated as the job goes west. And TopCon Bill over at Branco worked with me pretty good about getting it set up. And once we got going on it, it's an aid for layout. And if you already know layout, then it was real easy to pick up. Like I said, I think I counted out, we had 760 penetrations through the floor. I showed the guys a couple of the pictures, and it's like you could just see the trenches, or, if we're not pulling tape measures off of anything, just walking out, putting a pin in the ground, and then walking over and putting another pin in the ground. When you saw the aerial shot, all the trenches are lined up. This is something that's just going to stand out. The type of buildings I did, or I've always done, I did the support buildings. They'll be like churches, we did shopping centers for a little while, the DS buildings, jails, prisons, stuff like that. Just all a lot of state work, a lot of state and federal work, but all the support stuff, that's where the benefit comes from. Without the stores, without the churches, without the houses, without the, we do water distribution, so, without it, there would be no valley. Things are just a necessity. Groundwater or treated water or whatever, it's got to be dealt with, and it's got to be distributed through piping. Back in history, it cost a few big societies to go under because they didn't take sanitary sewer raw. So it makes us have the life that we have here. Without it, we wouldn't have what we have. It's been pretty good to me. No regrets.